Yes, guys, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Kosi. We're going to be looking at some of the transfer news, confirmed transfer news around Arsenal, especially the aspect of a right back, Achraf Hakimi, Tariq Lamptey. Florian Balogun has also signed a new contract, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. And of course, when Fabrizio Romano speaks, I just have to say, yes, here we go. Let us get into it. But before we get into it, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, give me your comment about what you think. And the biggest question in this one, Fabrizio Romano said Arsenal has confirmed they're going to sign a right back. Who should it be? Lamptey or Hakimi? I'm going to be sharing my reactions after telling you what Fabrizio Romano said on an interview on the Arsenal lounge. Alright guys, so let us start with the news, and of course I'm going to start off with Florian Balogun agreeing a 4-year deal. That was confirmed by David Onstein a couple of days ago, and it has been reinforced by Fabrizio Romano. He said yes, as he said, as much as I understand, Florian Balogun will be staying with Arsenal. He'll be signing a 4-year deal. Now, that is the greatest of news and Arsenal fans want to hear. And of course, as a person, I've always rated Balogun. I've always said, we need to see Balogun. We need to move Balogun. I've always fought for Balogun. I've always thought he should be one of those players to actually start for Arsenal, or actually get on the bench for Arsenal, because there's a lot of traffic when it comes to the forward line. Pierre-emerick Aubameyang, the captain, Alexander Lacazette, who is our savior this season, Gabriel Martinelli, who deserves the chance, and Balogun, who deserves the chance as well. So there's a lot of traffic when it comes to who should be playing for Arsenal on the as a centre forward, but Balogun deserves the chance. Now, news broke out a few days ago that David Onstein confirming that through Kajumba. Of course, Kajumba broke the news fast, and he said Balogun is going to be signing a 4-year new deal with Arsenal. Of course, the questions have been, what does that mean? Is he going to start playing for Arsenal as a starter? Is he going to be our main number 9? And what does that mean for the future of a player like Gabriel Martinelli? But for me, it's let us just take the positives. He's signing a new contract. That is it. As soon as Arsenal say, here we go, then I'll come here and say, here we go. But as far as we know, Fabrizio Romano on the Arsenal launch, he did confirm that Balogun, that's a done deal. He's going to sign the contract, and then let us see how things will be rolling between him and the club next season. Is he going to become our regular player? Is he going to become a regular bench player? It will depend, but as far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, he's signing a 4-year deal, and that is very great. Of course, the biggest stories in this one is Arsenal deciding to go for a right back. Now, he says Arsenal have confirmed they're going for a right back, and there are two options being looked at. First and foremost, you have Achraf Hakimi, who I think is marvelous. He's a finished article. He is of the moon. He's done it. He's achieved it. He's been one of the best players we have ever seen as right backs in the past 5 years. Again, we also have Tariq Lamptey, who's been at Brighton. He has had a very successful season. He's been progressive. I think that's the word. I don't know if I'm being so humble, but he's been progressive. He's been very good as a player. He's developed through the ranks of Brighton. He's been aggressive. I think one of the players that have really developed very fast this season has been Tariq Lamptey. Now, the problem, and Fabrizio Romano says that Achraf Hakimi is the priority for Arsenal, but the price is the problem. Of course, he said that Arsenal want to go for a right back because Hector Bellerin is going to be leaving the club in the summer, and I'm gonna say, Pick up Fabrizio. That was a reliever. I just want to see these Arsenal right backs out of my club as soon as possible. But the question is, who is the potential replacement? Romano says the club wants Hakimi, and he says, look, Arsenal wants Hakimi. There is nothing you can do to stop that. They love Hakimi, but Inter Milan do not want to sell, however much they are in a predicament of finances. So they are in a very tight financial situation, but they do not want to sell Arsenal. And the question for me is, why don't you want to sell? You want the money, you need the money. Sell to us, we can gamble, probably. And he also says that Arsenal will not be spending 50 or 43 million pounds on a right back. again, that also puts us in a very difficult situation because we cannot get Achraf Hakimi if we do not spend that much. So the question in the box is, who do you want? Do you want Tariq Lamptey? Do you want Achraf Hakimi? In my opinion, I think Hakimi is a very brilliant player. Finished article, bring him in at Arsenal. He settles everything. You have Tierney on the left hand side. You have Hakimi on the right hand side. Very fast right backs. Of course, very fast left full backs. They know what to do. Get the job done. Tariq Lamptey, he's a low budget. I understand, and everybody's gonna say, because he's been in the Premier League, blah blah blah. But we cannot compare the two players. Lamptey is on the list because he's a little bit cheaper and he's been in the Premier League. Mikel Arteta wants to, have Achraf Hakimi, and the Arsenal fans would love to have Achraf Hakimi as well. I would love to have Achraf Hakimi as well. But Tariq Lamptey for me is the low budget. He's the easier deal to do, and that's why I think Arsenal might go for Tariq Lamptey in the end. However much Fabrizio says, we want Hakimi and we love Hakimi and so on. If Inter are not willing to sell in the first place, they're going to have these big prices and they're going to have all these requirements that are going to they're just going to be like, don't go for this player. Leave our player alone. I think that's what Inter are going to do. Brighton, on the other side, I don't know whether they're going to survive relegation. Their season looks a little bit unbalanced and stable. But if they don't survive relegation, then you can go for Tariq Lamptey for around 5 million. Did I say 5? 25 million pounds, of course. 25. 20 years of age. You have him for the next 10 years. I think they're both good deals. It's all about Arsenal confirming who is the target, and then we can actually go for him. But I think both of them are very great players. If Arsenal decide to go for any of them, it's going to be very, very great. Of course, Fabrizio Romano did talk about other transfer rumors and other transfer speculation around Arsenal. He said, apart from a right back, Arsenal will be looking to get a central midfielder, and he said that is Martin Odegaard. He's the priority for Arsenal. He's the first player we want to bring in. He's the first player Arsenal are looking at. There is no other player Mikel Arteta is interested in. Central midfielder Martin Odegaard is the priority. So that's a big question. Of course, he was asked about the possibility of going for Hausemowa, and he said, no, we will not be going for Hausemowa. For one reason, is because the player wants Champions League football, and Arsenal don't look set to get Champions League football. So probably we have to look at players like Emi Buendia, Martin Odegaard, and a couple of other players apart from Hausemowa, because we do not have Champions League. Oh, I had just forgotten. We could win the Europa League, and if we win the Europa League, that means we go back into Champions League and we get Hausemowa. It's that, probably something like that. But the good news is Fabrizio Romano said Arsenal will be going for a midfielder, and he said we will be willing to spend around 50 million pounds on such a position. That would be interesting, of course, because you rarely see Arsenal spend that much on one player, on one position. But he says, okay, Arsenal are willing to spend around 50 million pounds to get in a new midfielder, but they're not willing to spend more than that on a right back. So probably the possibility Achraf Hakimi will join Arsenal is a little bit lesser than the possibility that Arsenal will bring in a midfielder who is around 50 million pounds. Will it be Lamptey? Will it be Hakimi? Will it be Hawa? Who are we going to see in the summer? Drop your comments in the box and tell me, who do you want to see Arsenal sign in the summer? And I'll speak to you in the next video. But before you leave, smash a like on the video. I want your comments and subscribe to the channel because more news comes on. In the next video, we shall talk about all the confirmed done deals, confirmed transfer news, not done deals, confirmed transfer news and deals that Arsenal will be doing in the summer. Who are we going to chase? Who are we going to bring in? All that has been digested by Fabrizio Romano, and on this channel you're going to get all the commentary and the reaction.